Hi guys, Angie Bells, my fairy treasures. Okay, you guys, we're going to finish up this world, this mermaid world. I have my mermaid over here that we're going to put into the mermaid world, and then we'll do some painting to get her really situated in the mermaid world. And then the second half of this video will be me coloring up, showing you how I colored this girl up, this mermaid. I'm going to go over the skin. I'll do a little bit of the hair, and we'll do a little bit of the tail. We won't do a full coloring, but you'll have a good understanding of how I did, the techniques I used. I won't be coloring the mushroom because basically if you understand how I colored the tail, you understand how I colored the mushroom. But I'll show you how I did the tail, the hair, and then her face and the skin. Okay? All right. But first, before we do that, what I did is I made a copy, a color copy of my mermaid here. And here is the color copy, and I cut it out. So we're going to collage her into this world. Now, I told you that I might have shrunk her down to a 5x7, and I did, but it's just too small. Sometimes when you shrink them down to a 5x7, it just fits in perfectly into your work. You just gotta just do it and see what works. This small was just too small. So this large, it worked out good. So I had to figure out where to put her at. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting off a little bit of the mushroom, and cutting a little bit of the hair off. Okay. And then I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my God, you're covering up so much, but not really. Look at it. Look how cool it looks. Well, once I paste it down, it's going to look really cool. Okay. Let me go like that so you can see at the bottom. Okay, so that's how much we still have going on. So let me remove her. So when I put her here, the only thing I'm really covering up is just this much of the waterfall and this much here and a little bit of this. But you see the castle, you see this water over here, you see this, you see all the sky. So really, you know, it's some. But that's the thing, is when you do work like this, your background's your background. You can't be worried about covering up some things. Just make sure you cover it up and it looks right. Okay. So look how much more of her. So I think that's gonna look really cool, really magical. Okay, so let's get her pasted down. Now you can see that this is detached from her head. Remember, and it really goes like that. What happens is that I needed to get inside of here to cut this white out of here. So when that happens, just cut it off like that, and then when you glue, and then cut all the white out. Because when you go back in, when you go back to glue her, you can just glue her down like that, and it'll glue down perfectly, right? Okay, so let me get a magazine out, because I always like to use a magazine as a glue surface. Even though this glass, you can wipe it off. I hate stickiness to get on my mat. I don't mind paint. Paint I wipe right off. I love it as a paint surface, but I really don't like it for glue. All right, just a second. I was looking for a really big magazine. Okay. For my glue, for a lot of my glue books like this that I use as a glue surface, we get this free magazine, Las Vegas Weekly. So if you get free magazines in the mail, or you can pick up at your grocery store, pick them up, because you can use them as glue surfaces. And also you can use them for collage bits. I go through these magazines real quick and see if there's anything cool that I want to use in my collaging. Okay, let's begin. I'm going to use some Eileen's Tacky to glue this down, because I copied this off onto cardstock, and cardstock can be hard to glue down because it's thick, as you guys know. So I think Eileen's Tacky works the best for cardstock. I say this all the time. I hear people say, "Oh, I hate the glue gun. I hate this glue. I hate that glue." Don't hate any glue. Use the glue that's going to work for what you're doing. Every glue, I have so many different, like most of you guys, I have so many different adhesives in my craft room or my art studio, because different glues are for different purposes. Hot glue, for the right reason, is the best for the right reason. No, is it good for everything? No. Neither is Eileen's Tacky. but it's right for this. Okay. And when I store my Eileen's Tacky, because it's so thick, you guys, I always store it upside down so it's always primed and ready to go. Also, another thing about Eileen's Tacky really quick, I know this is a lot about glue. You can get these just this size at Dollar Tree. So, that's a good little deal. If you buy 2 of them, that's about the size you get at Michael's or Joann's. And I think that's a little bit cheaper, paying $2 for 2 of them. So, I think. Plus, it's a nice size. It's a nice size if you're traveling. It's a nice little size. Okay, just a second. Hey Penny from Penny Ann's Creations. Girl, I am loving, I have these sitting right next to me. She just tore up a bunch of paper towels in these small little things. I am using the heck out of these. I love that. That's all you need a lot of times, is just a little bit like that. So, very, very good idea. And once I run out of all those, I will cut myself up some more. I'm going to save a lot of money in paper towels. So thank you for doing that and showing me that that is just a great idea. Because you guys know we all go through so much paper towels and baby wipes with mixed media. With crafting, period. Especially when we're dealing with, you know, the glue and the paint. And I don't mind getting my hands in glue or sticky, but I don't like to sit there and keep the glue and the paint on my hands. Well, the paint I keep on my hands a little longer, but the glue, oh no. I get the glue off my hands as soon as possible because it's sticky. Okay, so now I'm going to take this over to the side. Let's bring back our picture, and we're going to collage her down. Now this is the big one, so be a little careful. You got a lot going on here. But it's no major. If we get her not positioned right, we can just take a baby wipe and easily just wipe whatever we need to wipe off with the baby wipe. No big deal. Okay, do I have her where I want her? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. Like I got a little glue right there. This is where I'm going to get my baby wipe out, because if some glue starts seeping out, then I'm going to be able just to wipe it off with the baby wipe really quickly. So let me get my baby wipe out, and I have a little, I think it's a business card, or I have this little scraper that I love just to kind of help me get everything down. Sometimes your hands work the best. Sometimes, just depends. Ooh, did I just, what did I do right there? Ooh, Lord. I just, oh, it's okay. See, sometimes I said it's better to use your finger, especially on things like that. That was her arm. I almost ripped it off. If I would have ripped it off, I would have fixed it. But we don't want to fix things we don't have to fix, especially on a video. All right, I'm going to use my hands. Sometimes it's good just as well to use your hands. So the techniques I'm going to show you of how I colored this girl, you can use that on anything. You could, a lot of us have coloring books. Color one of your girls in your coloring books. Use some of these techniques, cut them out, and put them in your world. You may have big stamps of girls. Do that. If you draw, you can draw your own girl. So. Okay, I will cut off the little half of the little bit of this, make sure you guys are seeing, the little bit of the mushroom. I'll cut that off after things dry a little bit. You know what I like to do sometimes? I like to just fold it over. You know what? That works. I'm just gonna fold it over. You know that? That works perfectly. Sometimes I do that and it's actually nicer than if I cut it. Perfect. All right, I folded that. Now, there's a little bit left of the tail of the mermaid tail. I just folded that over too. If it doesn't stay, then I will cut that. That may or may not stay. We'll see. Okay, I am loving that. Do you guys like it? There's the top. And there is the bottom. I love it. Let me show you a little close up. Let's kind of get closer. Oh, I love it. I think that looks really cool. It's amazing how much different it looks once you get her pasted down than when I just have it placed on top. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we'll come in a little close, as close as we can. There we go. Okay, I want to just put her in this world even more, okay? So I'm gonna do a few things so that she really looks like she's more part of the world and we didn't collage her in. So if we add some paint to her and some things that are in the background, you know what I'm talking about in a second. Okay. I want to cover her skin and her face. So I don't want her skin or her face, yeah, to get cut that off about right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the white splatters, which I call it fairy dusting. When I do the splattering, sometimes it's stars, sometimes it's snow, and in this case it's going to be fairy dust. So I want to splatter fairy dust all over her because then that looks like the fairy dust or the stars that are in the rest of this, right? Okay, so let's do that. Let me get a little white paint. And sorry, it's been a day or two since I got back to finishing her up. I wanted to get back to her yesterday, but I made a video, and that video took forever to load, and I had to do a little bit of mild editing, and I kind of messed that up trying to edit. But anyway, it was something that YouTube offers. They don't offer too much editing, but whatever they offered, I was trying to do it. And it took a while. Anyway, by the time I was done doing it, I was like, I had a headache. So I told you guys, editing and all that kind of stuff, it's just like, I can do some art, but like computer stuff and trying to edit and things like that, I'm a mess. I am a damn mess. Okay. I sure wish I wasn't. I wish I was up on all that kind of stuff. Like it was no big deal. But I'm not. It's not my natural tendency. Okay, perfect. Let's get a little on that hair. A little on that hair up there. Perfect. Okay, so we fairy dusted her, and now we can remove the paper towel, or the paper towel, the piece of cardstock. Now let me move this out of the way. I do like to right away take a baby wipe and wipe off any splatters or fairy dust because it's hard to see. I can go through and just scrape it off real easily off of here, but they're hard to see because on the glass. And that way it just keeps my thing clear. Clean up as we go along. Okay. Look how cool she's looking already again. Now she looks like she belongs in there. Now another thing I want to do to make her belong even more is we're going to put some do I have a brush out already? Liner brush. No surprise there. You guys know I use the heck out of this liner brush. All right. I'm going to get rid of this paint here. This is the white paint watered down. We're going to put some stars, some shooting stars here and there. I'll try working out of this lid. There we go, because we don't need very much paint. All right, sorry I'm getting quiet. I'm focusing. Okay, so let's do some shooting stars. So we'll put one run right here. And people told me, they said, oh, I love those I had quite a few people say, I love all those shooting stars. Those are cool. I know it's one of my favorite things too. Let's not put too many, but we got to have a few. And we need to have some coming this way. Now we'll see if I can get them right going this way because my hand is in some awkward position, but if it's not, I can just take my baby wipe and erase it. Nope, we got it. Cool. And let's do one more like right here. Ugh, that one looked horrible. Let me dry that off. Let's try it again. Sometimes doing it this awkward way makes them turn out so cool, and sometimes it just, ugh. Sometimes they're just horrible. Perfect. That looks good. There we go. And we'll do another one here. We'll do another one right here. There we go. And we'll do one right here. Perfect. Let's give it a little bit bigger of a boom. There we go. So it looks like shooting stars are shooting in on her, which I think looks really good. I feel like there needs to be one more on the tail. Let's do it right here. And we'll stretch that into the bird. So it's going over the bird into the girl. And I was going to do some medium-sized stars, but no, that's too much. This is good. And it's just that little bit like that, that just put her more in, just really put her into the picture. Not just so she's pasted. So some of the things that are going on in the picture are also going on with her. So it looks like we painted her in. Not that we collaged her in. Not that there's anything wrong with making it look like I collaged it in, but I think it looks even better if it looks like I painted her in here. And people are like, God, she did all that work and then she painted that girl on top of there? That's a lot of work. That's a lot of background to be able to paint a girl on top. Girl, I didn't paint that girl on top. I collaged her in. Okay, let me see what you guys are seeing now. I love it. So we're going to come in a little closer so you guys can really see. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so there's that. Let's go up as much as we can. There we go. And over to the side there. And then we'll bring this down a little bit. Oh, no, bring this up so you guys can see this part. And there we go. See how pretty the fairy dust looks like on her? Like little sparkles everywhere. I think that turned out really, really pretty. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's come back out. All the way out. All right, so she is done, you guys. I am loving her. Okay, I will, I'm going to have prints of her in my Etsy store. I'll probably have prints of her in my Etsy store in the next couple of days. It'll also be announced on my Instagram that I have prints of her. I'm going to do prints of her the size of this, which is an 11 by 14. And I do it on photo paper, and I do it, so it turns out really, really nice. And then that's for the 11 by 14. And then 8.5 by 11, which you can just trim it a little bit and put it in an 8 by 10 frame. Those I do on another nice paper, and it turns out so beautiful on, what's it called? Brochure paper. It's a thick paper, and it just takes the ink so beautifully. So, they make really nice prints, both of them. And I use map settings. So if you want to do your own prints, use either, if you're going to do when you do your 8.5 by 11s or 8 by 10s, do it on brochure paper. If you want to do like 11 by 14s, do it on photo paper that you get all this at Staples. And at Staples, while you're there, do your prints there, because they have their printers have a thing called map settings. So with those papers I told you and map settings, you can make the most beautiful prints. The colors are just phenomenal. They almost even come out better than your original, which is weird, but yeah. So you can do them for 50 cents, right? Okay. Just bring your own paper in, the one I told you about. So in the next couple days, I'll have the prints of these for sale. The 8.5 by 11. You can trim it up and put an 8 by 10 frame. 11 by 14, just buy 11 by 14 frame. But if you're interested, the 8.5 by 11s will be 10, and the 11 by 14s will be 15. Okay. I think that's it. So let's now go to let me put this away. And we'll let that finish drying too. Let's go to our, how I colored this girl up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, I'm going to do her skin. Okay, do her face and her eyes and all of that. Okay, where are we at with time? All right. Let's do this, come down like that, and let's really come in. There we go. Nice and close on the face so you can see it. Okay. So the first thing I like to do is, hopefully I have it right here. Cool. I just wanted to be able to get to it. There's a color called, is it called Tinsel? Pretty sure this is called Tinsel. Yeah. It's called Tinsel. And this is what it looks like. It's by Jane Davenport. They do have this at Michael's. They don't have all of Jane's stuff at Michael's anymore, but they do have this. And it's her inks. And I mix this with water. And you mix it with water because if you use it full on, it gets splotchy. But it's great for skin tones, for light to for medium to darker skin tones. And if you want it for light skin tones, what you need to do is just mix it with water till you get to the tone that you want. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can do a medium to a dark skin tone with that for your base. So that's what this is. So I already have it pre-mixed. And I keep them. I got these from Dollar Tree. Love these things. I just always keep this on the side here to have that ready to go. I like stuff like that because it makes it look like skin rather than using acrylic paint. I mean, there's people, they love using acrylic paint for faces, but this makes it look so much like skin and gives such a smoothness, in my opinion. I mean, there may be people who will be like, girl, you're full of crap. I do not agree with that, but I like it. So let's just come in here and let's just put down the base. Just a second, you guys. Is this the right one? What the heck? You know what? I mixed up two different ones. I think that this is not the right one. Just a second. I think this is the one. Yep, this is it here. I believe. What the heck? Just a minute, you guys. You know what? I'm going to put you guys on hold for a second, and I'm going to figure this out. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm back. All right. It's still the same thing I told you. I had mixed up a darker chocolate brown, and I didn't like how that skin tone was actually. I thought it might be nice, but it wasn't. So anyway, here we go. So this is the base of her skin. And I've added enough water where I can get myself a nice, rich, dark, deep skin tone. So the darker the skin tone, you know, mix it with just a little bit of water. If you want it, if you want the skin tone lighter, add more water. Okay, and we're just gonna go ahead and go, let me see. Can you see the neck right now? Yeah. We'll go down to the neck. I'm also just gonna go and do her stomach too, because I have enough color on here. Sorry, there's the stomach. I may not get to the shading of the stomach today, we'll see. Or in this video, we'll see. No, I probably will, because I'm sure people want to know how I did it, all of this, so. So we will. Okay, so we now have that. Let me rinse my brush. Clean up my mess here on the side. Put that right there. Okay. All right, let me get my blow dryer out and we're going to dry this really quickly. And if you do this and you get a little bit of splotchiness at all, like, I'll show you. Like right here, there's a little bit of splotchiness right underneath this eye. See that? I'm not even worried about it. We're going to do so much shading that it's not even going to be a big thing. If you were worried about it because you were going to do a little bit lighter shading and maybe that wouldn't be getting covered up, you might just want to take a little bit more product very lightly and just kind of go over that side a little bit. But we're not going to worry about it because, like I said, I'm going to be doing so much heavy shading. Okay. Okay, you guys, in about 3 minutes, the video is just going to stop this video and start a new one. So just go ahead and go to the next video, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to use, let me move this out of the way, is Jane Davenport also. You guys, if you guys haven't noticed, I love Jane Davenport. I love her art, and all of her art supplies. She has these things, and they look like little eyeshadow palettes. Everything she has, she's made it look like, she has a whole line that made it look like makeup. The only place I know you can get like the makeup line, it looks like a makeup line, is at Hobby Lobby and then her own personal site. The other stuff like this, and her watercolors and all that, that's not part of the line that make it look like makeup, they still have at Michael's. Okay, so this is called the Palette Pastel Birthday Cake. So that's the one I'm going to use. And I love her artworks on the front. So I'm going to use that, and that's what we're going to use to shade with. And I'm going to use makeup brushes to do the shading. I keep them in this pretty little, isn't that pretty? I got it at Dollar Tree. You guys know, if you watch my channel, I'm hooked on Dollar Tree. Okay, the color I'm going to use is this right here. This kind of brownish color. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown. It's great for skin tones. And I'm going to start doing the shading. And let's make sure we're close enough on the face and the neck so you can see. Yes, we are. Now on the face, I just started doing this. I'm coming in really, really close right here. And then when I get down to like towards the chin, then I just kind of stop. But I want to get real heavy all the way on this side of the face like this. What that does is it's really contouring and doing a lot of contouring, a lot of beautiful shading. And then as you go down, just get less and less as you go down, just a little bit there. And if you get it too heavy, what's nice about using, oh, these are pastels. So with pastels, I forgot to tell you what these were. These are pastels. They're Jane's pastels. If you get too heavy down here, you can erase. That's the beautiful thing about it. Anything you do with these pastels, you can erase it. Love it. They remind me of the, and they're way better they're not like chalk pastels. They have like a creaminess to them. They remind me of pan pastels, the expensive ones that you buy, in, like at Blick's. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, let's go down to the neck too. Let's get the neck involved. Let's get the neck nicely, heavily shaded.